Joseph's just increasing his trade value by the day.
Well, what do you do? Okay, so Yorkie, what do you do? You've got Mathieu Joseph, who looks fantastic, and has now moved up to the second line after. I want the entire Ottawa Senators organization or fan base to apologize to Mathieu Joseph and Parker Kelly, because you both wanted them gone before the season started. They both look great. Parker Kelly looks like I'm not taking him out of the lineup. So you got the obvious choices are Eric Brandstrom, Mathieu Joseph, or I guess Dominic Kubalik, who's what do you do to get Shane Pinto signed?
I'll tell you what I would do. And unfortunately, you got to make tough decisions in this business. But the best part of this is Joseph right now is now, like I said, he's increasing his value, and he's not going to continue to score like he is right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. It'd be nice. I'm not saying he's going to dry up and have a season like he did last year, but I would still trade Joseph. That's what I would do. I would trade Joseph, and I would package Eric Brandstrom in that trade as a sweetener, and I would try and get maybe add another part to it. I would try and get a good right shot defenseman in return in that trade. A guy that can play right now, and maybe you have to give something else too. Maybe you add something else into the trade. And it's nothing against Brandstrom. I think he's played really well. I think he's doing exactly what he can, playing in the third pairing, killing penalties. But I don't think that is the role that he should be playing in the NHL. And I think for Ottawa, that's never going to change unless you do something drastic and trade one of your guys out of the top four. But that's what I would do. That's just me, and it's. Both those players have played really well, but I'm of the opinion you try and do something when and maybe it doesn't look great now. Great trading Joseph, but his value is going to be high. Brandstrom's value is pretty high. He's played well. 1-year deal, and I just think when Norris comes back, when Pinto comes back, both those guys kill penalties. Both those guys are penalty killers. Because Norris's role, like it was at the beginning of last year, was killing penalties, and so too is Pinto. So I think that takes off some of the argument of, well, we have Joseph as a penalty killer. And don't forget, not to disregard anything Mathieu Joseph's done right now, because he's playing great.
Mm-hmm.
The season right now is not indicative of what the season's going to be like a month from now, 3 months from now.
Sure.
It gets harder. I think it's great what's happened. Joseph's playing great, but that's unfortunately because of the cap. That's what I would do. I know people are saying Kubalik, but I still like Kubalik at what he's making, $2 million. I think he's going to
2.5. I think he is.
I think he's eventually going to bring scoring to your third line when you have everybody slotted where they're supposed to be. And I mentioned Rourke Chartre. He is doing Chartre. He's playing exactly how he should play right now. But he's a guy that should be on your fourth line. And
he looks really good.
Is
he an NHL player for you?
I don't know. I haven't seen enough yet.
Here's the thing, Yorkie. If Josh Norris and Shane Pinto come back and are in the lineup on Wednesday, who comes out of your lineup? Obviously, Chartre is one. Now give me the other person coming out of your lineup.
So you got to take two. You got to take two out. It's a tough decision.
And I'm not talking about cap space, none of that stuff. I'm just talking about if all these people are here and you have Shane Pinto, and I'm just mostly discussing the middle of the ice.
Well, that's where the trade would go. Joseph comes out and Chartre comes out.
Okay. But are you just moving Ridley Gregg over to the wing then?
No.
Well, you're going to have Stützle, Pinto, Norris, and Kastelik down the middle.
Yeah, I'm moving Ridley Gregg to the wing. Yeah, I would move Ridley Gregg to the wing, and I think he's played exceptional so far. And maybe he takes some faceoffs, depending on how. I heard the report Norris was taking some faceoffs and it looked great. I forgot who was talking about that, but I heard he tested it pretty forcefully a couple days ago. But yeah, that's what I would do. I'd put Gregg over to the wing. And again, Chartre's played well. Joseph has played well, but it's that's what I would do. Pinto would go in the center, Norris would go in the center, Greg to the wing, and that would be Joseph being traded. And
Okay, Yorkie.
it's an unpopular thing right now, but 3 weeks ago there was no chance you could trade this guy. Now maybe you can.
So Gavin put up a poll question in the chat and asked, would you trade Joseph to sign Pinto? And it's about 67% to keep Mathieu Joseph and not trade him.
Yeah. Well, people like to think in the here and now. I like to think more in the future and how that contract's going to age. And don't forget, once Norris is back, once Pinto is back, the offensive looks that Joseph is getting right now, they're not gonna be as plentiful. He's gonna be more.
Yep.
He's gonna be more in a bottom six role, and if he's not, then why are you signing Pinto? Which is when you really think about it, because he's the guy. And it's just like I said, it's early in the season right now, and this is a great problem to have. Mathieu Joseph playing well. It's not even a problem. It's fantastic. Like, everybody should be ecstatic, because when you play well, you help yourself and you help the team. And so we'll see. But that's what I would do.